Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you all again. And I think I'll take the liberty of asking the first question, then we'll throw it out to the floor. I was wondering if each of you could tell the audience what your sort of lasting memory is of that great night in December 2007 at the O2, and maybe start at the far end with John.
Lasting memory, getting through it all. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it worked out really well, but it was a relief come the end of it, I have to say.
Yeah, for me, I think I think relief is it's a terrible thing to say because I do like relief. You can never condemn it, but in truth, the idea of actually being where I am now, my lifetime, to get back in the middle of that music was a spectacular experience, and I was approaching it from a different angle, so to get through it and come out the other side was something kind of not much short of miraculous, I think, but great fun.
Jimmy?
Yeah, the lasting memory of it is the fact that I remember walking up at the steps onto the stage, and then the moment right at the very end of it, and then the rest of it had passed, very, very quickly actually, and but I knew the lasting memory of it was that I knew that what we intended to do, which was to go out there and stand up and be counted, and that people who maybe didn't know Led Zeppelin but had heard a lot about it, to show why we were what we were. And not only that, we were really, we'd had a really good time that night. We'd made a lot of people happy.
Okay, let's throw it out to the floor for some questions. The gentleman, yes, you sir. If you could wait for the microphone, as I said, and tell us who you are.
Hi, yeah, does it work? Yes. Hi, I'm Jan Vollert from Amsterdam, Holland. Let me first say how wonderful it is to see the three of you together, gentlemen. My question, you started this show with Good Times, Bad Times. Was there any significance in choosing that song to start with? And to put it more boldly, does that sum up Led Zeppelin's career?
Who would like to take that?
Well, it was, it was the first number on the first record, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it seemed a fitting beginning, although I'd forgotten quite how complicated the first riff was, and later regretted. But I think we did a good job, and it just seemed a good rousing start to the evening.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
a kind of it's a pretty concise piece of music in the kind of Zeppelin world, so it's like a tune rather than an extended piece of music for itself. So it was a good place to start, nice and concise, and that finale, the end of the track, there was a little bit of a sort of knowing and kind of interesting look between Jimmy and I, because on the outro it's guitar, then a little bit of vocal scat and a bit of guitar, and it was very interesting, that kind of to get into a groove early on, and to hear Jason wailing away behind us. I mean, he's singing his heart out. It's great.
Sure. I think out of all it, because people wouldn't have known what we were going to play and what we were going to start with, there'd probably been a lot of sort of guessing about what it would be, and you probably would imagine that was one of the last choices that they would have come up with. So it was more the unexpected as well. They go, wow, they've taken that on for the first number. Let's see what they're going to do next.
On the teaser trailers that ledzepp.com has been putting out, that is the track used, and it has tremendous impact, I think, when you hear those opening chords.
Yeah.
Next question.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys, my name's Lenny from Today FM. As the envoy from Ireland, first of all, I'd like to officially invite you to Ireland, whether it's for a gig or whether it's to stay in my house. I've got a couple of bedrooms, and there's a futon if you need to, or top and tail, whichever, guys. I just want to know, Are there any particular memories from your time together in the 70s when you sit down and you have a couple of pints, or a couple of single malts, and there's just one thing that you're all thinking of, and you go, yeah, that was the way we did it, that was amazing?
What, you mean socially or musically?
Well, when you're together, do you know when guys hook up
Yeah.
after a while, and it's like you were never apart? You could be away for 100 years, but it doesn't matter.
I think, the thing is, we don't see each other too often, but we've just spent about an hour or so discussing the stuff to do with Amit's educational stuff and all that. And no sooner we start talking than some little innuendo creeps in, most of which shouldn't, it's just what happens when you spend a lot of time together, and there's some old memory that kind of crops up and you go, oh, that's something to forget. So it's good. There's lots of those things drifting around.
Next question. The gentleman with the dark glasses.
Hello, I am Philippe from Rock and Folk magazine, France. I would like to know, did Jason Bonham do the job? Were you happy with his drumming?
Is that Philippe Parango?
Philippe Manœuvre, okay.
Sorry, what was the question? Did Jason Bonham what?
Were you happy with Jason's drumming?
That's Philippe's dad.
Happy with Jason's drumming. Wow. Jason was absolutely monumental in his performance and his playing. From the very first rehearsal, right through to the O2. He was incredible. The whole spirit, his enthusiasm, and his knowledge of what made Zeppelin tick musically was just something else. It's just really wonderful to be able to work with him for that amount of time, as far as I felt, to do a proper full set, and really communicate musically with him. It was really good. Nobody else could have done it.
We played with him before at his wedding, sadly he decided to go to bed during the wedding reception, and because I was a kind of friend of the family from the way back, I was the one that had to go up to his room and get him to get out of bed. Do you remember that? And then he played with us.
This lady here.
Hi, hello, I'm Claudia from Music News UK. First of all, fantastic film, fantastic concert. I would like you to question, where do you stand now with regards to Stairway to Heaven? Because if I'm informed correctly, Mr. Blunt was never really for it, and Mr. Page always really was for the song. You had a different opinion on the song.
Mr. Page what?
You really always championed the song, and I think Mr. Robert Plant never really was for it.
Well, I struggle with some of the lyrics from particular periods of time, and I don't know, the musicality and the construction of it is it's peerless. But